dog enforcer guy.
You're live. We get one every month. I can bring you the book if you'd like.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Just curious.
Actually, there is a copy on the warrant in here tonight for the last one,
All right,
because we pay his mileage off that.
6:49, call Selectman meeting to order. Flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, number 3, review minutes. You guys good with the minutes?
Yes. Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept minutes as written from February 3rd, 2026.
All in favor? Yay. All right, committees, Parks and Rec, anybody here?
Okay, I'm here, I think. We'll revisit something we talked about in December in a different context, which is whether Parks and Rec can hold activities outside of Unity. The reason being, our pickleball program has outgrown its, space. Because only 4 people can play at a time, we only have room for 1 court. So when like 14 people show up, then they end up waiting a long time. The people running it have looked in, and Mountain View Middle School can hold up to 4 courts. We have an additional net that someone would bring in, we have our net, at least for starters. If they could use that space, assuming the school agrees to it.
So the gym,
Or they would like to still use the gym on Saturday, they'd like to have 2 days is what they'd like to have, but have more capacity at the other.
so the gym here is small for you.
Yeah, there's room for 2 courts, but it's just short enough if someone goes back and breaks their wrist on the wall, we don't want that happening.
Yeah, we heard you guys hurt Larry King.
No, he went somewhere else and did it.
Tell you, they have more knees and elbows and shoulders, I said, this is the most horrible sport for reuse injuries.
You said you got tangled up, fell in the net and everything.
He came on Saturday and watched very mournfully, and then he went off to watch the auger competition. So is that all right?
I think it is. I have no problem with it.
Okay.
Especially
Part of
for
our school, part of our district anyway.
Right. School district. Okay, so I will get in touch with them, we'll get an application, and the other thing is, I had mentioned that Ron Allen, his bank, if he puts in volunteer hours.
We already did that.
Okay, well, I'm
Oh, okay.
getting to what I'm getting. They would like, he can earn up to $500 for his volunteer work for the committee. And they'd also like to do some fundraising, and they're talking maybe charging a little bit for people to play pickleball. They would like that to be dedicated revenue so they can grow the program and have maybe a tournament at some point. And if they raise a lot of money, maybe we can figure out how to put an outdoor court up somewhere.
Are we gonna run into an issue with charging, because wasn't that the other thing that the school ended up charging us?
$5 a month.
Okay,
Which I never did get the invoice from her.
I know that, well, and I didn't either. And
Okay.
so, but they invoiced us, then we suggested we pay it
$5.
all at once rather than, because like $5 a month is stupid. And then heard nothing, and then she said, you never paid that invoice? And
Like I
said,
never
"No,
got
we
one.
didn't." I said, well, I didn't know we had to do that. You'd think she would have done something new invoice the same day. But no, that's been another month. So, I mean, there's a possibility, if you think that'll be a problem, or we don't wanna do that route, that he can just ask for donations of whatever, I think we could tell them $20 for the season or something. They said, because pickleball was currently donations, that they weren't charging us for that.
So it'd be $5 a month.
So the question is whether the money they bring in, is there a way to have that as a dedicated revenue account within our account for them?
They pay the $5 out of it.
Huh?
They pay the $5 out of it.
Okay. Or I might donate it. You never know. If we ever get an invoice. That's, they want to nickel and dime us to death at the school. Okay, all right. Everyone at, the open door and my committee thought we should still do a meal at town meeting, if that's okay, combined as we have in the past.
Okay.
Also, the pie auction, Michelle has agreed to make items for that. And instead of having the bake table, we'd like to do a 50-50 raffle. I called the main gambling or gaming, whatever people, in Augusta, because there's rules that apply to us, and as long as we don't pay out more than $2,500 from our 50-50 raffle, we can do that. And as long as we don't sell tickets online, but we can say tickets are available. We can use Facebook to say you can buy.
Tickets are available
at the town
by,
office,
yeah.
Or we'll have tables or whatever we'll do.
They don't want anybody collecting a prize without them knowing about it.
So, $2,500 is a lot of money. We're not gonna make $2,500.
No, I don't.
I mean, you have to make 5,000 in order to
Yeah.
pay out 2,500. So, we had an issue last year with the moderator pushing things so far that the meal wasn't going to happen until everybody had already left. And I had asked Charlene if there's a way to schedule that into the warrant somehow, that the meeting will take place.
So I haven't had a chance. I don't see where there would be a problem, like scheduling an actual said break at a certain time in the warrant. I mean, it was something we were gonna discuss, but we didn't have a
Yeah.
work session last night, so I don't see a problem with it. I don't know if there's any legal, I don't see why not, because it is a joint meeting where we start the meeting Friday.
Does it have
close
to be
it.
on the warrant, or can you just, I mean, if
I don't
it's on
think
the
it
warrant,
has-
it's
It's
a,
kind of
it's
a,
a done thing, right?
Yeah.
There's
That way there
like a
you go.
different attitude in the moderator than in the past. The moderators for the 40 years before this were very community-minded and aware that this fundraiser was going on.
Yeah, and they-
Don and Dana Stevenson.
and to be fair, this last year, we did have a very prominent person pass away and their funeral was that afternoon. So I think some of them were trying to they wanted to get, a lot of it was let's push through so these people to allow them to go say their respects and not have to stay behind, but
Okay.
that was, I knew that was part of the reason why they pushed, but I think it originally intended, but it was only like 3 articles to finish.
Yeah.
Or something. It's a very small amount, so.
All right.
But you can't really designate a time. Is there anything pressing this much?
It's the same,
You
but
never know.
we
Right.
never know. I mean, it's
They
just,
get into
we
a
don't,
cooling contest and
well, we don't have the ambulance on there this year, so that's helpful.
You got the Lake Association on.
We
there,
do
though, for
have the
special
Lake
appropriation.
Association, yeah, we have the Lake
Mhm.
Association on there for special appropriations
It's a pretty good
for
chunk of money.
alum
Why
treatment.
is not the ambulance on there?
It's on there to approve it, but we're not outside, we're in a contract now, so it's just a matter of appropriating for the
Appropriate.
contract, yeah.
Right.
It's not do you or don't you, or ABC and all that fun stuff that we went through before, so.
I mean, that's only the thing that more or less is the lunches.
That's Mary Ann Hayes calling.
Oh, do you need to take up with her?
Nope, not until her portion
Okay.
on the,
So we're all good on that, and maybe, I won't speak, is it Alec or Alex?
Alec?
Joe.
Alex. There's too
Okay.
many of them.
Because I have no authority with him, but if someone wanted to mention to him, that would be good. Then we have another issue with the schools. I did their online form. I requested 8 tables and additional chairs for our puzzle competition on Saturday. I arrived early so I could unload the car, and there were 6 tables, and there was a Head Start table and a slightly larger than Head Start table, and 4 chairs, 2 were adult chairs and 2 were Head Start chairs, which wasn't even enough chairs for the 2 tables that weren't the picnic style tables with their chairs. And I had written beforehand and, on Wednesday and said, we will need the 8 tables, and we only need chairs if they're not, enough chairs for tables that don't have the benches built in. And as usual, didn't get an answer back. Fortunately, I was early and was able to lug the table over from here. We used the small table.
You shouldn't have to be doing
No, I
that
shouldn't
crap.
have to do that. And,
Have we got an after-hours contact number yet for him?
The only one that I have is the one that Peter Quimby gave me after the situation we had. He says, feel free to use that number if necessary. So I have that number. So I will give that to you.
okay.
I can email it to you for like when you have issues after hours. He's the facility director, but he doesn't have control over what they do with the space. He's more of like door issue, things like that. And then they're gonna tell you to just leave it unlocked apparently too. So, because they have a security system.
We should.
There really should be a
pay them
list.
visit during the day or something.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because,
See why they-
so
why
I
they're
have made a
not very
request.
accommodating.
Well, we've made a request to Maria to put a schedule an appointment with Lisa Rue. And that was in December and we're in February and I've yet to hear anything.
But.
We do it Friday.
You might want to go Thursday. They won't be there this week because it's school vacation, so
The superintendent's not there during school vacation?
I don't know.
Anyway, the
I would-
superintendent has her own email address publicly
No,
on the
it'd
web.
be better to do it face to face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I would like to go because I'm the one that seems to have had the most issues with all these different things, or I can make a list.
If you get us a list.
Make a list.
All right. I will do that.
There's no reason why they shouldn't be trying to accommodate us a little bit. I mean,
And it was, and they were able to when Steve was there, so,
yeah, they're just doing it
yeah.
for
Okay.
whatever reason.
Okay. My storage unit, I think I'm finally gonna be able to get in there. I would appreciate next year, whoever shovels out the fire department, if they could just shovel a path and shovel off the steps, and the sun does come on there, and I might be able to get in during the winter sometimes.
Okay.
And then, this year is the 250th anniversary of the country, and we're behind the 8 ball, so we will not be doing anything for that, but since Brooks usually gets the 4th of July anyway, that's probably not a bad thing. However, then I realized that my daughter, my eldest, is gonna be 47 this year. When she was newborn, the town had a celebration for one of its anniversaries. And so I looked up when she's 50, the next 50 years, that would be our quasi-bicentennial.
Yep.
And that's 3 years from now, and I'm thinking, I'm a plan ahead type person, I probably will not be running it at that point, but we might want to be thinking about doing something big for the town that would draw in various clubs and get as much in play as we can. So that's, I'm just going, I haven't even talked to the committee because I didn't come up with this word before that.
Yeah.
But I think they would be on board with doing that. That's all.
Well, thank you. Sorry that you have issues at the school. But we'll.
I've always had issues with the school, going way back.
Should be having issues with them after hours.
Right.
Not really, I mean, we've used that gym back when
Yeah.
20-something years ago, and they were always accommodating.
Right.
I don't understand what's going on. Are those tables and stuff still over there? Besides these new ones?
Four that we used, they're always there.
Yeah,
And so they had 2 that they got from somewhere. But when I was there the week before, there were 8. I thought, great, the kids were already here, and then 2 of them disappeared.
I thought last time we had them here, Glenn and the other woman, I can't think of her name.
Lisa Rue.
yeah.
Yep, that we had mentioned monthly meetings with them, since
Yeah.
we cut a check every month to them.
Mm-hmm.
What happened with that?
Gone with the wind.
I
Got what
say-
they wanted, so they don't show up.
Well, don't send them the check then. There you go. Problem
We
solved.
haven't got the invoice, so.
No, it's on this
something.
140,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
43,000 a month.
Let them come and get it.
Yeah.
You said it was the bicenquent, can you say that word again?
QUAS. QUI bicentennial.
Okay, I got it.
Let's say we send the warrant and you keep the check in your desk
Well, I'll keep it in the safe.
and have them,
Good idea.
Yeah, they can come over and get it.
because that was the thing, they asked and we said, like, see you monthly.
Right.
And
That hasn't happened.
it hasn't happened. So.
Okay.
But have we invited them to the meeting? That's the other question. No.
Not since that meeting, but I did try to get contact in a meeting with Lisa Rue to get some things clarified, and I have yet to get a response.
Okay.
Maria said that she would get us on her schedule, and that was in December, and I haven't gotten anything. So
So can you CC Glenn
yes,
and our emails to him?
yes.
And that way everybody is aware of everything going on in our meetings.
So you want me to send an email to Lisa
Lisa and Glenn,
and Glenn?
because he's the board chair,
Yes.
so.
Do you request a meeting or request attendance to our meeting?
Request to meet,
Yeah, request a meeting.
selectmen,
Okay, request first. Request to attend monthly selectmen meetings. Select board meetings.
As they offered to do.
CC select board, got it.
I mean, I don't know if it's necessary to meet them every month, but
170,000, Dave. Gotta hear a spiel. I feel a little bit better if I hear a spiel, but I sign that warrant. Want to know what's new and improved and like issues like this that we've been trying to resolve. Haven't
A
been
lot of money
resolved.
for, and you can't even get 6 tables for 8 tables.
Yep,
Or ones that fit the adults that are attending.
So the plastic and.
because look, I don't know how many people came, but let's say, people show up. Now, it just doesn't look good for our town and it
Well,
doesn't
they
look.
enter ahead and they pay, and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
arrive so far I've been able,
you gotta come over here and get tables.
Like the last two, we've taken, didn't we take these over one time too? Like the fall one, didn't we take these over?
Yes.
Yes.
I forget why that was, because they didn't, they only had those really heavy tables and since then
Yeah, since then they've
with the
replaced
folding
them.
ones.
Yeah, so it was a couple of times ago then, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause I remember coming early and helping we
I know,
packaged
and
all
I
of them
wanna
up.
thank you.
No, no
publicly
worries.
Because I really appreciate you.
No worries. It's part of what we do. If I had time to get here earlier, when I realized you were having problems, I would have come over and moved the tables for you, but I was not. I didn't get your message until I was on my way back downtown, so. But we did get them put away, so.
All right, fire department, we have.
Report attached, right?
Report.
So our fire department has, in January, had 11 calls. Water problem, 4 motor vehicles, EMS assist 2, and 1 cancellation en route, and mutual aid 3. They dealt with a structure fire in Troy.
Yeah, of course, they go back to the regional.
Yep. I got a forestry grant for $3,080, 50% match. We're still waiting for some. For the repair on the sign at the station, waiting for the insurance company. And they're also waiting for the other insurance company for the tanker.
Yeah.
And they did some work on
Okay. Sorry,
nine. That was pretty well written. Look at that.
Very good.
This is page 2.
Oh, page 2. Wow.
They currently have 18 active members, 13 of those SCBA qualified. They have one junior firefighter who's going to basic fire school this spring. And they have 4 prospective members that they're trying to recruit.
That's good.
So 18 active members.
That's good. See, it was a lot lower than that.
Yeah. We're getting there slowly, but we're getting there. So, all right, treasurer.
Here's the bills and the book. So you want me to hold the check until what? Until they've responded?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go check.
Here's my skin.
They probably got so much money they don't even notice it.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure they'll be
Did they have like
calling.
$4 million and they didn't know what they were having it for? And
For the roof that we think we're gonna have to replace.
yes.
Well, they probably gotta do something considering the gyms are leaking during basketball practice over there at the complex,
Oh, I
brand new
didn't say that. I
facility.
mean,
Well, maintenance goes a long way. They ask
Right.
enough money, they should be doing their maintenance.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, it'll be in the budget this year.
New roof or maintenance? New roof.
It'll be in.
That's
it'll
their
be in
former
their
maintenance,
budget.
just, let's just get new.
It'll be in there somewhere.
How old's that building already?
I honestly don't know.
2010 was the first class that graduated out of there.
So,
Yeah.
and
I
that,
guess.
2009.
Before that, 2009. maybe.
Well, 2009, wouldn't they have occupied?
2010 was the first class to graduate out of there.
Right.
Yeah. So they probably occupied 9, 10 is when they occupied it.
Right.
Because they were still
Yeah.
in, they were still educating at the other facility.
So nearly 16 years.
All right, I'm good with the warrant.
While you're signing, you approve the minutes. I always forget to pass those around. Minutes.
$143,000.
Crazy.
All right, review and update land use audits.
So Linda was in today. She's been going back and forth about updating these 2 clauses in the land use ordinance under tab 7. I highlighted what the changes would be, and then the reason for the changes are noted right below. Kind of self-explanatory. The timeline is tight because she wanted me to bring this to you tonight, even though she doesn't have the updated draft that would be going to planning board for you guys to certify. The idea is that she would move forward with this at the next planning board meeting to get their approval to make the changes, schedule the public hearing for, I think it's a couple weeks, and also in the meantime, bringing a clean copy of the land use ordinance with the changes notated for certification by the board, which she didn't think was necessary. However, it was brought to her attention that it is a state statute. She also asked if I would update the land use ordinance, and I said that's usually the responsibility of the planning board chair. So
It's just these 2.
it's just, yeah, so one, and I do kind of agree with the 2 changes. The first one is remember we were discussing on a developmental 1 and 2, there's that silly thing where it says they need to have a design committee, which requires an architect or an engineer, not necessarily paid, but to go through to make sure it does fall within the requirements of the downtown district. Now, with that being said, downtown district, if you wanted all your buildings to look the same right down Main Street and you had one that looked like a sore thumb, that would be the case. However, the case that was in question was
The size of the
the
building.
size of the building.
I don't see anything in here that.
No, so based on the size, this is not for the one over here. This was the one that was over on the Thorndike Road, which is still in the downtown district, but not in Main Street district, where it would be a little, where you'd want to see everything uniform.
Well, I thought the special design committee was triggered on the size of the project.
That was Alec Albright's, not this one. That one was
I
in
know, but 10,000
Square feet.
square feet.
over 10,200 square feet or something like that.
That was developmental 1 to developmental 2
But
for
was-
that one. They were
triggered
going.
The special design review committee, right? I thought it was the size.
No, that was not. That was, so the square footage was for the size of this building for this one down
Yeah.
here. Was it gonna fall into developmental 1 or developmental 2? Over here, I believe it was because it's a developmental 1 because of what it is. And then it's in the downtown district. Well, according to our land use ordinance, it says that the planning board shall get appoint a design review committee to make sure it meets the requirements of the district. And so they want to change it from shall to may, so they have the discretion to say yay or nay.
I say no.
You say no change?
I say get rid of it completely. And the reason being is we're gonna put the power in on that committee.
So I can do it to you and not the other guy?
Yep. Yep, so either we keep it the way it is, or we get rid of it completely. That's how I feel, because, you know, they're gonna, we already been asked that question pretty much. How come they had to do this review and I didn't? I had. They
Right.
did it and I had.
And it goes back to when, and then you go back and you look, it's by having it as shall or having it there at all, and you don't do it, it automatically can trigger an appeals down the road, which we saw with Dunkin' Donuts. So I think that needs to be evaluated. I tried to suggest in like a couple of weeks ago when we were visiting this topic to wait until we have to do the land use changes with KV Cog, because we have the ADU situation that's coming up. That's a statute that was in place in September, but we're waiting on guidance from the state. And now there's another piece of legislation that's also going to affect ADUs that's already coming up for the next session. So I suggested that we do it all at once and just do a special town meeting in the end, once we get the guidance from the state. And then I came into this morning. So, so these are the 2 changes that are being requested. The other one is when you're looking at a developmental 2 level, they want to delete the clause that requires, so if you're doing any installation or any combination of pavement in the project, it automatically triggers a developmental 2 review.
Another idiotic thing.
Correct. She doesn't, I don't disagree. She agrees that these are both really silly concepts. So she was
Well-
saying for situations like, so every time someone
The
wants to put
pavement
in
thing, I
pavement.
could see an issue.
Yeah, but if it's, I think what's happening is some of this stuff is being taken out of context. If
I think
somebody,
you're right.
if somebody comes in and says, I want to put a post in
Mhm.
for my mailbox, first of all, they're probably not even gonna say anything to you.
One, and for
Second of
2,
all-
we have no jurisdiction over the
No.
mailbox. We don't have jurisdiction over mailboxes. The post office does.
I realize that these things are in the book,
Mhm.
but you don't need to enforce these things. You can overlook them, can't you?
Mm-mm.
Huh?
No,
Mm-mm.
this is the law.
Huh?
This
This
is
is
ordinances
I
law,
know,
local
but-
law.
You don't have to, you have to follow every letter of the law. I mean, why? All right,
That'll get us in trouble.
huh?
Because that'll get us in trouble. And we'll be we'll be in another appeals meeting. So if we give them the guidance to follow the guidance for every person to handle them the same,
I would say, I don't see the purpose of this.
of changing it or getting rid of it.
Special design review committee.
I
Right.
agree with
I
you.
Yeah.
don't
I agree.
see, I was actually kind of flabbergasted when I originally. saw
I'd never heard of such a thing until it was brought to our attention, this one, but I guess it had been an issue in the Dunkin' Donuts case, which I wasn't here for that, so I didn't have all the scuttlebutt on that.
If in fact you are following every letter of the law, why
Right.
do you need a special design review committee?
Right.
I guess is where I was going with all
They
this. I
all
mean,
think
why
it's
do you need
ridiculous and it should just go,
a
but
whole special design review.
We're paying a code enforcer to make sure that buildings are built to what the book says.
Mhm.
So why are we gonna have a committee to review
to
this?
basically to say, yes, you're in compliance.
What's that, Peggy?
So they can go sit.
So my thing is that, it's our code enforcer's job to say, hey, your design doesn't meet our land use. There's no need
Right,
for
and
another
that's,
committee.
that's my, I mean, you're right, because he would testify in a development and water development and two meeting.
I wasn't
Hearing.
trying to sound like.
No,
I
no,
was
I
trying
don't,
to
I-
circumvent the law, but I'm just saying this kind of
So by having it say
creates a lot of
shall,
redundancy there.
by saying shall, it means that every single one that fits in that little cookie cutter that's in that segment of your downtown has to go through that design committee,
Right.
which can open a can of worms if they bypass it, which they did in Duncan. So by saying may, but then that's picking and choosing. So then you're opening up to the
So
possibility.
somebody didn't follow the rules.
Someone didn't follow the rule. Well, they're changing the rules, so it's may
No.
instead of shall. But
So all the rules were not followed when they put Dunkin' Donuts in, is what we're saying.
well, they circumvented
Well,
that.
well.
I wasn't
We're just
here. I wasn't here. My understanding is the reason why they triggered the appeals, automatic appeals, is because they didn't do the downtown, making sure that it met the design
It
guidelines.
did meet the design guidelines.
Did it?
Yeah, that building meets the guidelines. They hired an engineer firm. I was there for that meeting.
No, yeah, I understand,
Yeah.
but from what I understand, they didn't have this design committee to say checkbox. It was,
That's what
Back to the code.
Yeah.
It's no difference than we have to sign off on a driveway permit. It's
And we hire-
Dylan's job.
correct.
We're babysitting Dylan.
Right.
Right? So why do
Well,
we
we pay
need,
Dylan if he's not even allowed to do his job,
we're paying for a service,
Right.
it's his job.
Right.
Just like this, it's his job to say, this doesn't meet our guidelines. We don't need 50 people to say,
It
Doesn't
doesn't
meet
meet our
our
guidelines. And I agree. I absolutely agree. I think the whole section should leave the land use
I
ordinance.
do.
So do we put that towards, you want her to remove anything that references design committee and any of, okay.
you guys agree with
I
that?
would agree with that wholeheartedly.
wholeheartedly.
Yep. Because we're not gonna pick and choose who has to do a committee and not do a committee. That's ridiculous.
I agree. I feel like on the other flip side of it, I'd rather see shall than may myself, because then you're opening up, because I don't like you, I'm gonna say
Yeah.
you have to go through the developmental
If
review.
you irritate somebody.
But I like you, I don't like you, so you don't,
I can see
you
why
know?
I can see why you don't like me.
Alright, so then we got-
So do
So
you
I
wanna,
just triggered a special design review.
Ching, ching, ching.
don't build anything in the downtown district.
Looks like it's gonna be a while for you.
Oh, and so then the other one is a developmental review number 2 is triggered because it involves the installation of any combination of pavement.
That one I kind of agree with.
Okay.
Because, and the reason being is, if you got a gravel driveway
Mm-hmm.
or gravel parking lot, the water's gonna run off slowly.
Differently, yep.
Versus if you have a paved driveway, then you actually contour where the water to go, and it's gonna rush a lot faster. So
Right,
you could flood out your neighbor's property
right.
by doing that.
Right, so leaving it in there that the paving, so a developmental review that involves any, should it be changed to like a area of paving rather than just any paving? Do you know what I mean? Like currently, doesn't it currently say that it's any paving, but if you change it, like if the mass of the paving, we'd have to look at it. So this is why I wanted to bring this tonight. She wanted me to bring this tonight, because if she's gonna take this to the planning board next week, she has to have the same information. I tried to get her to come in and actually work with you guys, because I know that in the past, planning board chairs have come in and at a work session or made an appointment and had a work session and go through the reasoning behind and having like a collaboration. She doesn't seem like her schedule fits your schedule.
We're here Monday.
I agree, but she always says she's unavailable, like she was unavailable tonight, but I had to bring this tonight. I've suggested that she comes to the work session several times on other issues that I've sent you emails on where I've like, we don't need an attorney in this issue. It's black and white. So I don't know how you want to move forward. Should we make suggestions and say, this is how you would prefer it goes to planning board? Or do we let her try to make the changes and then the decision is made at town meeting? But I do agree with the paving, because you can contour where it's going. And plus, if you're on a secondary road versus a state road, it's going to have a different runoff pattern, because our secondary roads don't have the drainage. They're ditched, so it's all gravel. So if it's running off a driveway or a parking lot into a secondary road, then it's going to create a heavier flow in the ditches and could cause issues with erosion on the roads and tear down the side roads. Whereas the state roads have, they have drainage set up and it's shaped so it runs a certain pattern. It doesn't stay on the road, it runs off the road. So, I mean, where do you want to go with this?
I'd have to reread
The ordinance.
yeah, where it says.
Yep.
After the removal of C through G, I don't remember.
It's such a thick document, obviously, we would need to look at that.
Let's
I mean, I
table
read
this
it,
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
The retention
Table,
level.
table.
But we're in agreement on number one.
Yep.
We want to get rid
I
of it.
don't see any need for that. It
No.
just seems like it's redundant.
Right.
And if you pass.
So do you want to vote to go forward with number one, and we can start making the
To
addendums
totally remove it out.
to remove it out, and that way we've got time to get it ready for public hearing, and then the other piece, maybe we can review, see if we can get her here Monday night for the
Yeah,
next work
yeah.
session.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So did you want to do a vote for number one or no?
Yep. Dave, you want to make a motion, Chris? One of you? On number one?
I make a motion that we remove, the request for reason of change for the downtown
Oh, no.
design guidelines, aka section 1 that we're reading about.
All right, so
Special design
Remove-
review committee.
Right.
remove special design review committee
Yeah.
from land use owners, completely remove it,
Completely
right?
remove it, right?
Okay, remove.
So we're not changing any words, we're taking it all out.
I don't
Thank them for
really-
their service.
Well, I don't see any need.
This is the
for
first
it.
time it's been brought up in ages, so.
Well, we first heard about it over here because of the size of this building. It triggered this special design review committee because the dollar store, I mean,
Dollar General.
the Dollar General is like 600
Michael?
square feet too big.
They're getting ready to make the decision on that one.
If it's 10,000 square feet and
Alec,
under.
I thought
it
she
doesn't
said
trigger
3.
this
She's
special
working on
design
3
review
developmental
committee.
reviews right now.
Okay.
First Clifford permanently changed the design of them. We had the big village. So do they have to go smaller?
No, it was, it meant that it triggered a certain,
Now you gotta hire, you gotta put this committee together so they can sit there and review the plans of this thing to see if it meets the guidelines, which if you have the permits and stuff, it should meet the guidelines, right?
You got a code enforcer, that's his job.
That's his job.
You know, you got a book that tells you the design.
Well,
So,
the post office building is not good.
It's not the code.
No, it's too tall. I think it was maybe state guidelines that because of, or maybe it's local, because of the fire engine.
At the time, right, we didn't have a ladder trucks, therefore you didn't have a two-story,
Yeah, was it 18 feet, I think?
without selling the apartment that was being built.
That's a long jump down to a ladder.
Right.
18 feet.
Right,
But I think they got a sprinkler system there, don't they?
they did.
Yeah, so that's probably where they got the variance.
They get their variance.
I'm sure he got
And the thought that
every
we're,
variance he ever wanted.
All right, so I've got the motion. Chris made a motion to change number 1, to remove special design review committee completely from land use ordinance. And then I added, if you're okay with this, Chris, to table change number 2 for review with the planning board chair.
right.
And I don't have a second.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Yay. All right, number 8, Humane Society contract.
It's pretty much the same thing, other than it's increased.
You get a free tour, guys, you see that?
You can if you'd like.
Yeah, they're offering it.
They'll let you adopt any cat you want.
Which I think the only change that's changed is the rate per capita change, which also, so it increased our sum to 5157, but we kind of already went over that in budget. But other than that, the conditions of the contract is the same as before. I did reach out because I remember from last year that they were gonna talk about per usage fee versus by per capita, but they couldn't get it through the board this year, through the board approval to change it to by usage, because we're one of the smaller towns that use the facility.
Right.
And whereas Fairfield and Waterville
Yeah.
obviously has a higher volume. I did talk to I think it's Josh. Is it Josh? Yes. But that wasn't, they never got it through their board to go with that option at this point. It is still in talks, but we are subject to the per capita schedule.
Josh Forrest.
I talked to Dennis a little bit about possibly looking at other facilities, and he said by far Waterville is our best option.
Mhm.
Next would be Bangor, but then it's kind of a catch-22 if we switch a contract to Bangor, because you're doubling the mileage to get there.
It's too far.
It's too far. He said Somerset's a joke. Don't even bother. That's the one in Skowhegan. And I
Yeah.
think he said there was one
It's
in
also too far.
Belfast. Yeah, it is. It's further than Waterville. It's about an hour. It's about the same as going to Bangor from here. And then I think he said something about one in Belfast, but I'm not sure. But again, that's a smaller unit. Still, it's even further to go to Belfast than it is to go to Waterville.
Where the heck that was big.
Yeah, I don't know.
I might be mistaken on the town, because he did say one that was down coastal way, so maybe it's closer to Rockland or something
Camden.
like that. Camden and Rockland, maybe.
Right. I don't think there's
So.
anything down south.
A lot of fees in here, huh?
If you don't
For
follow
us?
the rules,
Yeah, there's a. what's
Yeah,
it,
that's been in there.
$20 per day.
Everything cheap.
they accept donations though.
Oh, that's if they don't, I think, if I'm reading that right.
So that's only if they have to house a animal that has incurred medical expenses, and it will be charged to the municipality. But Dennis takes, so
We had
before
one of
he
those- we had
takes,
one of those, right?
we did, which wasn't even ours to begin with. That finally went away, by the way. But Dennis is pretty good. Like if the animal needs medical attention, like for example, an accident where the dog or cat has been hit, he automatically takes it to the ER vet for evaluation and to determine if it requires euthanization or if it should be sheltered at that point.
You guys okay with the contract?
I am, he's looked after us pretty good, I think.
Oh, yeah, this is actually for the Humane Society,
know,
but
but
yes, I mean, he's pretty
yeah.
good about making sure, and he sits on the board,
Yeah.
sits on the Maine State
That's what I
Animal
mean,
Welfare
he's-
Committee.
He's
So-
taking pretty good care of us,
Yeah.
so I can say, I'm okay with the contract.
I am too.
All right. I'll make a motion.
I make a motion that we accept this year's contract with the Humane Society of Waterloo.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we got a Wallow County Mutual Aid Agreement.
Oops, not 30. I need the whole folder.
Sorry, I should have gone up and down.
I need the whole folder.
Oh, no, but it was the error. I went from left to right, not up and down.
Oh, yeah. So if you want to write underneath and then I will witness it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to white it out. You can
Yeah.
just cast through it and initial it.
This is pretty much the same as well, isn't it?
Yep, it's just basically, basically a renewal of the same contract. It's the same, so this mutual aid contract is basically saying that we're mandated to provide mutual aid based on the state requirements
Yeah.
to the towns listed in the, and it's just updating it to a 26 version.
It's mandatory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a motion, we accept this year's 2026 Wallow County Fire Protection Mutual Aid Agreement.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I,
All right, number 10, review 25-26 quarterly review.
So there's a letter in there from RJD showing what they evaluated for the quarterly review that was done in the over the last month.
Mhm.
Just, it's basically an FYI, but if you've got questions, you can always give them to me, or we can meet with Ellery to go over. David, did you second the motion on the fire protection mutual aid?
yes, I did.
Thank you. I was behind on my minutes there for a minute.
So they physically went around town? Or-
Yes, that's what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
On the quarterly review, they have to visit every single
Yeah,
property on that tax card in that quarter.
yeah.
658,000 in value.
Not much went down, huh?
Nope.
Nope.
Imagine that.
Does it
A little
ever?
bit.
is the RJD?
Rob Duplessis Appraisals, RJD Appraisals. So it's Robert, whatever his middle name is, Duplessis Appraisals. He's our assessing firm that we use for assessing the taxes. It stands for Rob's initials. It's Robert Duplessis is the owner. Senior, there's junior and senior now.
$38 of them had a change out of 244.
Yeah,
So I forgot to have you guys sign this, but this is the mutual aid agreement for each of you have to sign that one. Yeah, so 93 parcels had changes. So about a little over a third ish. Well, 38%, so
38%.
duh, it's right there in front of us.
All right.
it won't be too long, you'll be made aware of the changes.
Pretty soon.
Yep. Start booking those appointments. All right, old business. Canopolis discussion, next steps.
So I had a conversation with Mary Ann today and wanted to know what the next steps are. I told her that we had talked about you guys were gonna check on references. Do you want her to check references? How are we gonna move forward? Do we want to review specs between, because we talked about,
I wanna know how much money we have.
we have 40.
I didn't know what was left in the.
And theirs, well, they haven't used any of this money that was appropriated. So she's available by phone if you want me to give her a call and we can talk to her about what they have left for availability for funding. My understanding is 30,000, leaving us about 70. And we talked about,
So they have 30,000? And we have 40.
and we have 40.
So
70.
So it wouldn't be if we went with Todd, as long as he met the criteria, the specs, they would try to find the 3,000 difference in order to bring it up to cover that contract. Couple of things they're concerned out with Todd is that they don't have any reference properties or anything that shows where he's done the erosion control before. So if we go with both projects, the other thing is that we don't know if he's certified by the DEP for the erosion control. That's one of those things that we have to confirm.
All right.
So I don't know if you did any research on your referrals or anything.
No.
Okay.
We haven't
So
done nothing.
Do we want me to,
No.
do you want me to give her a call so we can get a clarification of what's left in the budget?
I think, have her do the legwork, find out if Todd's licensed,
Okay.
and then we'll proceed from there.
Do you want me to authorize her to do references on, we don't have a list of references from Todd because he is a current vendor.
No, but
So,
we don't have either projects that he's done,
mhm.
The erosion control.
and that was part of the stack.
Okay. So have
Well, if you wanna go with
Marion.
somebody else, it's not in the budget, right?
Well, that's basically,
Well, that's
yeah.
kind of where we're at. It's like if we look at going with,
So it's either all or nothing.
right,
If he doesn't meet the specs.
Right.
And he doesn't have the.
The next
references
step would
or
be-
licensing,
Then there's no money.
there's no money.
right. I mean, FC Works also bid both projects. I don't know, did they provide us, I know you were looking at these
I
earlier.
started
Did
in
they
there.
give us a list?
Yeah, I saw, well, let's talk about references.
Well, I think they did on the original quote. Let me see.
Well, how much more money with it?
Not much more.
Okay, so I mean, it's feasible for them to then come up with another $3,000 for Todd. They come up with 5 or 6
And
or whatever it would be to make sure you cross the finish line.
instead of doing 200 feet, do 170, I don't,
Figure out where you can cut corners
yeah.
because it's, it's your budget that's.
Well, I had heard say something to the fact about maybe you won't be able to pave, but the road can be sculpted or whatever, but I don't know. You
So
can-
this is the original one from FC Works. It was Sheepscot that we were looking at that had we were talking about earlier. Sheepscot is the one that gave us, that's the one that just bid the erosion control. This one here.
The paper that you gave me earlier, those two folders.
They weren't in
leave
there.
them
Those. I saw, I think it was this one. I think I saw the.
Or was that the original specs?
And Todd's in there too.
This is from the original, because they were the original companies that we went to. Because they went to them originally before they went to get the grant, so
And their prices didn't change.
Right?
Todd's went down on the paving, I think, 59.5 is what he had on this one. FC Works was 47.53 on the paving.
On the original one?
Yep.
So.
Oh, well, on the ones that we had to have to be able to go for the grant. And his specs are in here for the paving, but not for. I think, I don't know whose drawing that is. I think that was from the committee from Lakesy and Cook. But these were the two that we had originally. And they were looking at 9,820 square yards, FC Works. Prep included fine paving, surface gravel, compacting, saw cut grinding. So it sounds like erosion and vegetation control, swale curbing, swale stabilization, 59.5 for the boat launch roadway. So this was his original specs that he provided us before he bid it.
This is,
This is all, I mean, this gives them all of, see, this estimate was for budget purposes only, but then it does have their specs. We do have access to their specs.
Yes.
So do they meet the same criteria of the other three? Are these, if we take a look in Cameron's and DNR now, do you have his right there? No, it's
I mean,
there's DNR's.
DNR's was really detailed.
Was that his first? That's his first one. Let me see if I can find the second one. Cameron's was too.
DNR
Right. Which we both in.
Here's Cameron's with his calculations. Let me see if I've got the revision from DNR because he sent us the one with, yeah, this is the one with the erosion control. Which we do know that DNR, they said they were not certified erosion control, but they are sending workers to do it. This is the one that came in on the second. So this one includes, it's the same as before, I think.
Yep,
And then he gave us,
yeah, same dollar price, same everything, same specs.
Yeah. so the question is, and his quote for the paving was 86,940, hardscape 55,325. And he would reduce the overall bid by 73.25, but then that's way out of budget even then. But the question is, does his specs and Cameron's specs match Works? And because I noticed when I was just, I think I gave them to you, but
Give me,
this one right here, this is the one we were
That's
talking about.
Cameron's.
blacktop.
Blacktop is formerly Cameron's paving. So FC Works is saying 98.20 for square yardage.
2820.
Based on 210 by 22 of road, 40 by 30 parking area, and 40 by 100 parking area with a 2 inches of 19 millimeter HMA base and a 1 inch of 9.5 millimeter HMA surface.
How many tons? They tell you tons?
No, it says by square yard. 9,820 square yard.
This one is
Locked
9,000.
up.
Don't answer that.
It's Mary
That's
Ann.
right. 9,000.
She lost
Yeah, she is watching.
And then you got, what did Todd say for tonnage? For the tonnage?
He did not. He said the 210 by 22 for the Canopolis Road, 80 by 40 for the parking area, 40 by 30 parking area with 2-inch compacted of hot by bituminous asphalt base mix, and then 1.25 compacted of hot by bituminous. I'm not pronouncing that right. Asphalt surface mix. Price will include prep and fine grading, surface gravel, compacting, saw cut and grinding of joints, erosion and vegetation control, swale, curbing, and swale stabilization. 59.5 was his original quote. That was before. I think it's less, isn't it, on the new one?
I got two more.
I know, I did too. Right here, 49,760. Total project would be 73,142. His original quote was 59.5. So he's already put in a reduction off his original quote of the original specs. Specs have changed a little bit, but not enough.
So I don't know how you guys feel. I think we should have Mary Ann find out if he's licensed to work on the waterfront. And then she can get back to us.
If he is, we should all meet
Yeah.
with him together.
Yeah.
So in order to, so you have to award, do you have to award first in that, what attorney said you award first, then negotiate, or do you?
Well, how can we award him the contract if we don't know if he's qualified?
Yeah,
Right,
Right.
you gotta get the qualification first.
so,
That's all,
If he's not, it's all for nothing.
Thank
I
you.
don't know what goes wrong.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because if he's not certified, no sense
It's just
in.
going there.
Award him the contract.
Yeah.
Do you want me to have her also check with FC Works where he's close?
Yeah, if he's certified too.
See if he's
Yeah.
certified in
Yeah.
erosion control.
And then come talk to us and we'll figure out who or what.
Right.
You know, and,
At least we're playing with players that can play.
you know, also photos of projects that they did,
Mhm.
because that was part of the spec
Mhm.
and stuff.
Well, there is some in there.
That's for Sheepscot.
The only one with,
Sheepscot's the only one that provided us with the photos and the references from the work that was done for each of those clients.
I think that's just like a phone call calling DEP and finding out
Mhm.
if they're licensed to work on the water
Right.
and stuff. But- All right. Chris, you got anything?
No.
Dave?
no, I'm good.
I got nothing.
I'm good.
Public feedback, correspondence, complaints, anything? Peggy? Come on. All right. You're military.
Do you want me to tell you what the computer says? Yes.
7:53.
7:53. Make motion to call second meeting over.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yay. We're done.
All right, let me get you shut off here. End stream.
That's it.